My life is bleak.
I'm ready. Welcome, everybody, to a brand new edition of ROFLcast. I am your host, Achilles, joined, as always, by noted Hitler apologist, Kayla. Kayla, what's good?
Not a lot.
Still helping Hitler hide his treasures in Argentina?
Why are you telling people my secrets?
I thought it was widely known. I mean, you wear that Holocaust Denier t-shirt a lot. I think the secret's out. Did you watch the Golden Globes?
I did watch the Golden Globes.
Okay, well, tell me about it, because I didn't.
I never watch it, which is, like, I don't care about award shows. It's just a lot of people just stroking their own dicks all the time. Like, I don't really give a shit, but...
I actually go on the internet to look for videos like that.
Of people stroking their dicks?
Yep.
Like, literally, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Just wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
It was boring, as all the award shows are. There were a few good speeches. I mean, I guess.
What was the most notable?
What's that?
Go ahead.
No, it was just a bunch of people who were like condemning certain people in Hollywood while just ignoring the fact that people like Woody Allen are super pedophiles, but it's okay because he makes great content.
So is there anything in particular that stood out to you from one of the speeches? Like any anecdotes? Because I know Natalie Portman had that one thing where she said, here are the list of the all-male directors for Best Director.
Yeah, which was hilarious. I actually laughed really hard at that. She was so angry. I was like, damn, girl.
Yeah, but I mean, what female directors were left out this year? I don't think there were any.
Well, I think that was the point. There are no female directors, really. There's not many in Hollywood, and that was the point that she was trying to make.
Right, but it seemed like it was coming across like she was getting mad at these men for being selected when there was qualified women that could have done it, but there wasn't any available. It's not the people that were nominated fault.
Yeah, that is kind of how it did come across, but I like what I gathered from it, just because she looked so angry and sounded so angry and trying to make her joke. But I felt like it was just, there's like there's like a very low percentage of females who actually get to direct films, and I thought that was where my head went, because I feel like that's the logical explanation, but I could be totally wrong.
And why was everyone wearing black?
Because they're trying to represent the Me Too movement. And the Time Is Up, I think, is the other movement that they're trying to represent. So by everybody wearing black, it's to show like solidarity in fighting against all of the sexual harassment in Hollywood and in workplaces all over the world in general.
Wouldn't it be weird?
What insulting thing are you going to say now?
No, it's kind of funny that they're like wearing, like, they're very glamorous and they are wearing somewhat revealing dresses. I'll be like, sexual harassment's wrong.
Hey, it's not
just
about
like
what
nuns.
You wear.
I don't know.
How dare you?
I know that Oprah had a big speech where she said that all men are evil and all white people are rapists. And that's her platform that she'll be running on in 2020 when Oprah tries to become president. How did you feel about her speech and what she had to say?
I mean, like, her speech was great.
She's one of the best, like, people at giving a speech.
She is. And my thing is, like, I don't dislike Oprah, but I'm also not obsessed with her like everybody is. I think and that's fair. I think she's super smart. She's super talented, but I don't get what the obsession is. She does a lot of great things, and that's great. But, like, her speech, I thought it was really great. I mean, it's true in the times that we're in, and what she was saying was right. I thought it was really nice how she was talking about how, like, younger girls are watching her and being the first woman of color to win this award. I think she was the first woman in general, or the second woman to win the award, or something crazy like that. Like, it was ridiculous. But saying how, like, little girls are watching her on TV and can look up to her and know that they can do these things too. Like, I thought that was pretty cool. Like, the sentiment behind that was nice. But no, it was a great speech. I mean, it was empowering, which is always nice. It was probably the most interesting part of the entire award show.
Would you say that will be her platform for running for president in the coming years?
I mean, like, you don't really need much, it seems. You could be like, I want everybody to have pizza every day for the rest of their lives, and you'll probably win.
I'm all for the Oprah trade, man. I'll fucking vote Oprah. I'll move to the States and vote for Oprah. I think she's great. I didn't watch the speech because I don't give a shit, but I hear it was really, really good and that she said a lot of good things. I mean, that's the worst way to characterize it. I've nothing intelligent to really say about it other than good for her.
Yeah. I mean, yay, women. Woo, vaginas. You know?
I do worry sometimes with those speeches. Like, you remember last year it was Meryl Streep who made a speech, and then she made fun of MMA. She's like, if you have MMA, you won't have any foreigners or outsiders, when literally every single champion in MMA was a foreigner at the time.
Oh yeah,
there might have been two American champions.
I remember hearing the big upheave about that whole thing.
Well, but it was such a bizarre thing to do because you see how like Meryl Streep is part of CAA, and they're the rival agency that to the agency that owns the UFC. The UFC is owned by Ari Emanuel and his division, and then their competitors have Meryl Streep. So by Meryl Streep putting down MMA, it was a direct bash to her agent's competitors, but she did that during a speech about allowing foreigners and women, empowering them, when MMA is the first sport to ever have their main events headlined by women, or is the only sport that pays women more on average per capita than men. It is, like, there's so many things that are just, and it's like, one of the most multicultural sports there is, as most champions are from, Europe or Brazil and now possibly Africa with Francis Ngannou fighting soon. And then you're like, oh, everything she said is dog shit because she's just using these talking points to kind of push an alternative agenda. And I was scared to watch the Oprah speech because I would feel that they would have those types of things in there. Did you see any of that or anything that was kind of questionable? But that doesn't sound right.
No, not really.
Okay, good.
Like there was nothing like that.
Okay. As long as it's like, as long as I can still be Team Oprah after watching it, I'll watch it.
You can still be Team Oprah. I mean, she was just being, I don't know, I guess real as you can be in Hollywood. So it was kind of refreshing because I find most of them just say bullshit on stage. Oh,
totally. It just concerned me when I saw a lot of criticism for it. But I think anytime they see a black woman speaking out, they criticize.
What do they criticize her for?
I don't know, just like making an obvious pledge to be president in 2020 and like all this other stuff, and I was like, doesn't sound like she was, but I didn't really watch it. So.
No, I mean, like,
was she like all anti-Trump in the speech or anything?
No.
Did she bring up Trump? There
actually wasn't a lot of anti-Trump stuff, surprisingly. Except Myers.
So what the fuck are they complaining about? That's so weird.
I don't know. Like, maybe I need to watch it again. Was I drunk or high?
No. I would trust that your view on it is a lot better than probably a lot of the biases that you'd see online. Let's talk about who won the Golden Globes this year. For Best Motion Picture, I haven't seen like any of these fucking movies. Best Motion Picture had 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri, Call Me by Your Name, Dunkirk, The Post, and The Shape of Water. I have only seen Dunkirk. But I'm going to watch The Shape of Water tomorrow night. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri won, and I am hearing a lot of really, really great things about that movie. Have you seen
I've never even heard of it before, but I want to see it.
That sounds like, I don't know, a band, but like a really like obscure garage band.
Yeah, it sounds like a Dashboard Confessional song.
Yeah.
It could be.
So I've seen Dunkirk. I really loved it. I'm going to watch Shape of Water right away. I'm going to watch these other 3 movies, Call Me By Your Name, 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri, and The Post, because I have a good feeling that those will be an Oscar contention as well. And Oscars are March 5th. So before that, we can do a breakdown if I've actually watched the movies.
You don't have to watch movies?
Some of them. Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy, Lady Bird, I, Tonya, The Disaster Artist, Get Out, and The Greatest Showman. I've seen The Disaster Artist and Get Out. I'm going to watch I, Tonya this weekend. I heard Greatest Showman was horrible. And Lady Bird won, which is starring Saoirse Ronan, Laura Metcalf, Tracy Letts. Saoirse. And Greta Gerwig directed it. And that won for Best Musical or Comedy. I haven't seen it, but it does not look like a musical or comedy. Neither is I, Tonya. Neither is Get Out. Neither is The Greatest Showman. Why can't they actually nominate actual comedies for this category?
Like, what comedies would you have nominated?
The Disaster Artist, sure. What else came out in 2017 that was a comedy?
Nothing!
There was something.
Well, not a pure comedy, but like action comedy. Like, how hard to the genre does it have to stick to be nominated?
Well, I mean, I think we could pick like Kong Skull Island, and that would be closer to the genre than any other of the choices that they actually have.
2.
I don't know.
Guardians 2 is a good example,
funny.
yeah.
It's got some funny shit in there. I seen the preview.
Okay.
I, Tonya, not so much. Like, I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, that one's a little weird.
I think for a lot big budget, even like say mainstream comedies or even like action comedies, they don't want them to win awards because that legitimizes them. They only want them to win technical awards.
It's so bullshit. Like, why? You want to be legitimized. If, like, I don't know, Sausage Party won an Oscar, they'd advertise that. I think they have won an Oscar.
That movie was great.
I have actually not seen it. I thought it might have been really bad, and I was really worried. So
it was terrible, but it was great because it was terrible.
You know, I'm looking back through the movies of 2017, and I cannot find a single fucking true comedy.
I told you, 2017 sucked.
Oh, man.
Film.
Wasn't there some Paul Rudd film, probably?
Maybe, but not off the top of my head.
No, I wouldn't.
You would know if there's a Paul Rudd movie.
Yeah,
so Lady Bird won Best Motion Picture Musical Comedy. Having not seen it and having seen all the other movies, I'd give it to The Disaster Artist. I thought they did a really, really great job of making it very, very funny. Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture Drama. Frances McDormand won for 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Sally Hawkins, Shape of Water, was also nominated. Meryl Streep for The Post. Michelle Williams for All the Money in the World. And Jessica Chastain from Molly's Game. But Jessica Chastain is the front runner to win the Oscar for to win the Oscar for Best Actress in a Movie. I haven't seen like enough of these to actually say anything about them. But now I have a whole list of movies that I still gotta watch. The only one that we have to add to that list is All the Money in the World.
Yeah.
Did any female acting stand out to you guys this year at all in particular?
No.
Not in any movies that were like mainstream.
Well, it doesn't have to be.
The girl who played Mantis, she's part Canadian.
Oh, that's good.
That's it. And she has a funny voice. That's all that really stood out, I guess. That's not really even acting.
I thought the little girl from Logan did a really great job. I think that's kind of one of the things that people would overlook really easily, but I think that like her acting in that to mimic Wolverine and X2 so well is fucking difficult. And bad movie, but great acting. Catherine Waterston in Alien Covenant. The movie was all over the place, but she was excellent in it. That's kind of my other like kind of dark horse pick, I would say.
I feel like I started watching that on the plane and then just stopped.
Why?
I feel like that's what happened with that movie and me.
Aside from that, nothing really pops out. Like, I don't think Atomic Blonde really deserves the award or anything. It's a fun movie, but it kind of starts and stops there.
I haven't seen Wonder Woman yet. Was Gal Gadot good?
No. The other one I would like kind of use as my like kind of dark pick if I had to pick something kind of off the beaten path. What's her name from not Baby Driver? I totally lost what else. It. The little girl from It. I thought she did a really great job in that movie and totally played the character right to a T. Like, I was reading the book right before the movie came out, and then when I saw her in it, I was like, no, she fucking nails it. Like, she does a really, really good job. So those are my dark horse picks for females. Probably none will get nominated. Now let's go for the boys. Gary Oldman won for The Darkest Hour. Timothy, spelt really fucking French, Chalamet for Call Me By Name. Daniel Day-Lewis for Phantom Thread. I don't even know what the fuck Phantom Thread is.
I saw the preview for it, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Even if he sucked, they'll still fucking nominate him.
Yeah,
and give
it's true.
Awards. Like, it doesn't matter. He could just pee and everyone would be like, that was brilliant.
He left acting to be a cobbler, but he came back for this movie. Tom Hanks in The Post. I wouldn't mind seeing Tommy Hanks get another one. And Denzel Washington for Roman J. Israel Esquire. It's weird seeing all these like super big A-list movie actors not in like big movies anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what's the biggest movie Tom Hanks has done in the last 10 years?
Toy Story 3.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, he wasn't even really, that could have been anybody.
Come out?
He wouldn't, like, you need a movie that, like, actually he carried, like, The Terminal. You know, it's been a long time since Castaway. In the last 10 years, let's see what he's put out. Well, he's been no, that's the thing. He's been spending his later time producing and probably doing smaller movies, which makes sense. I mean, as an actor, you can kind of pick and choose, but he picks and chooses weird shit. So we did The Post, The Circle, which no one saw or liked.
I saw it. Didn't like it.
Inferno. Oh, Sully.
Terrible.
Sully wasn't a huge movie, though.
It was good, though.
It was.
That's the plain one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hologram for the King, I have not seen. Ithaca, I've not seen. Bridge of Spies was great, but not a huge movie. Saving Mr. Banks was fine, but not a big movie. Oh, yes, Captain Phillips was pretty big.
Yeah, that would probably be the last really big one. I guess.
But even then, before then, there was like a long jaunt until we get to, Angels and Demons. And it just seems like these things are really narrowing, like tapering down quite a bit. Like, even with Denzel Washington, every time he had a movie, it was the biggest thing in the world, but now it's not. Best Actress in a Musical Comedy, Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse?
Best Performance by an
Make it too complicated. I used to do that too.
The other people nominated in the category was Judi Dench, Helen Mirren, Margot Robbie, and Emma Stone. And I hear Emma Stone was very good in Battle for the Sexes, so I would have to check that out as well. Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. James Franco won for The Disaster Artist. He did a great job.
He was perfect, I hear.
Daniel Kaluuya for Get Out. He also did an incredible job.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Carell for Battle of the Sexes. Ansel Elgort for Baby Driver. I guess that is a musical. That's a musical.
I haven't seen it.
Well, musical / comedy, not.
Yeah, but Baby Driver wasn't really comedy, but it's definitely a musical. And he did great in that movie. That movie's awesome. And Hugh Jackman for The Greatest Showman. But James Franco won it, and I think if he wins the Oscar, all hell will freeze over.
I thought you were about to say Hugh Jackman for Logan.
I wish. I would definitely give it to him for Logan. And those are kind of the main ones. Do you guys have any picks for the Oscars? Do you think they're outside of what the Golden Globes did? Because I think they're pretty close. Like, I think it's just going to be a juggle between those people. I don't see it really going outside. I don't think they really left anything out.
Yeah, no, isn't that usually what happens though?
Yeah.
Well, honestly, award shows it's like what they showed on BoJack Horseman. They just rotate out who wins what.
Yeah, basically.
Until it's their turn.
Now, here's a big one. Best Director in a Motion Picture. Guillermo won for The Shape of Water. There's also Martin Madonna for 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Christopher Nolan for Dunkirk. Ridley Scott for All the Money in the World. And Steven Spielberg for The Post. These are a lot of high classic directors. I would love to see Del Toro win because he puts out one good movie every 8 movies. He said this is his second good movie in The Shape of Water. And every time he makes a good movie, it gets all the Oscars. And then he makes his other movies like, fucking Hellboy and Pacific Rim. Although I liked Hellboy. I would love to see Christopher Nolan win, although he's done cooler things in Dunkirk.
But don't movies about war always win?
They should always win.
Isn't that the way?
Yeah, be a patriot. Come on.
Boss Baby was nominated for Best Animated Picture, which shows how fucking weak that category is.
What else was nominated?
Coco, The Breadwinner, which is very good. Ferdinand, which I hear is fun. Loving Vincent.
Not Lego Batman movie?
It should. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
No, legit.
Well, didn't the original Lego movie get snubbed? I remember this too. It got snubbed
bullshit.
that year.
That movie also is a
They were
movie.
pissed, and they were like, "Fuck your awards."
Yeah, I think all Lego movies are going to be shunned now.
It's just mean.
What was that?
That's just mean.
Yeah,
Lego was amazing.
Lego is the best.
Except for when you step on it.
Yeah, I mean it's like the movies are good. Is what I mean. Now, best television series for drama. There's a lot of good options here. This Is Us, Stranger Things, Game of Thrones, The Crown, and A Handmaid's Tale. I've watched all the shows. This Is Us is not really for me. It's for people with
vaginas,
relationships, and families.
And vaginas.
Yeah, that could be part of it. Stranger Things is my show. Like, if I was going to make a show, it'd probably be exactly like Stranger Things. I love Game of Thrones. The Crown, I'm starting to really, really enjoy. And Handmaid's Tale is fucking crazy. I dig it. Yeah. Handmaid's Tale won, but is there anything in this category that you guys think has been left out as some of the best TV shows of 2017 for drama?
From what I've seen, Westworld.
Oh, yeah. Holy shit, that show was good.
I'd say, like, take out Game of Thrones, because honestly, Game of Thrones, while it is still technically impressive from a storytelling standpoint, it's
shit
kind of
season.
fallen. Yeah,
it's the worst season. It shouldn't definitely be up there at all. Twin Peaks came back. I heard that was great. I did not get a chance to watch it yet. Master of None had a really strong season. I know that Aziz Ansari won some Golden Globes for that later. The last season of Leftovers, I thought that was incredible. If you guys haven't seen HBO's The Leftovers, it's real fucked up. And it's fantastic. It just finished its last season. The first two seasons are based on the book, and last season they kind of do their own thing, but it always stays true to its weird, kind of really stark switches. And it's like a Black Mirror episode, but goes really long.
Nice.
And that's another one I'd love to mention is Black Mirror. Black Mirror had a great season this season.
I think Black Mirror hits too hard for people.
Yeah, like you only watch 3 episodes in a row before you have to call a suicide hotline.
You're just like, okay, I need to get away from this now.
I really liked Atypical on Netflix.
Yeah, I hear Atypical is one of the best representations.
That was a really good show.
Yeah, I hear that was really great. I haven't had a chance to watch it
really great acting as well.
Isn't that kid like autistic in real life? Like, he seems like it.
It's just like Walt Jr. No. He's not that good of acting then. He's just...
No, he's not. I've seen him in other things.
Yeah.
Star Trek Discovery was okay. I haven't watched all of it, but halfway through the season. Rick and Morty had its season this year. Some of the best TV that I've seen. Really, really great season for Rick and Morty. I loved it. So here's some stuff that might go unsung. Big Mouth, I thought was really funny. It was pretty good.
Oh yeah, I've heard about
on Netflix. Yeah, it's like you see little kids' penises and vaginas and stuff, but it's very tastefully done. American Gods. Puberty, right? What was that?
Like about puberty?
Yes, it's about puberty. Okay. And then like their puberty is physical monsters that like manifestations that talk to them. It's really crazy.
Yeah, my brother told me about this show. Now I remember.
American Gods. I just had such a great time. I'm a huge fan of the book. I had a great time watching the show. I thought it was super good. Definitely check out that on AMC.
I have to. They film in Toronto. I'm being a bad actor.
You should make it on that show because I really, really like it.
My dreams of Suits have been destroyed, so I might as well move on to something better.
Fuck Suits. That show's fucking horrible.
I like it, okay? As an actor, probably not as a person.
Better Call Saul is better than Suits.
Yeah, Better Call Saul is just a better show than almost every show on TV.
Yeah, pretty much.
I heard Elias Grace, another adaptation of that person who was
Margaret Atwood?
Yes. I heard that was really, really good. Alias Grace? I keep hearing good things about it, so I definitely have to check that out. Fargo, another great season. So here are my like dark horse picks that no one's gonna really suggest. Legion, the new Marvel show. It's on FXX, and it is fucking nuts. It is about a guy who can warp reality. That's a superpower, but it's not a hero show. It's not a superpower show. It's about a person living in a mental institution where reality is being warped around them, and I don't know if it's them or external forces. And it is fucking crazy and so interesting and so well shot. Like, I can't say enough good things about Legion. I love this show.
Have you watched any of The Gifted yet?
No, I haven't. I'm gonna wait till Gifted is done and then I'm gonna binge it.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you checked it out yet?
No, I still need to watch Legion.
Legion is really fantastic, especially for people who are a little crazy and might end up in an insane asylum. This show is perfect for you. Another one that might go overlooked is American Vandal, which, that tickled my soul. I thought it was real for the first episode. Do you guys know what it's about?
I do, but I'm scared to watch it because one of the people that I hung out with in high school was like, this was exactly what my friends were like in high school. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah, they're mocking. They're caricatures that they're mocking. And it's about a guy who gets kicked out of school. He's like a stoner burnout loser. And because they think he vandalized 30 cars. But he says that he didn't do it and has alibis and stuff. But the stories don't match up. And it's done like Making a Murderer. But it's really good. It's a comedy, but there's no like ha funny moments, but it is a comedy. It's very, very funny. But yeah, it's a mockumentary. It's amazing. I highly suggest you go watch it. And those are my picks for what my favorite stuff is for 2017. Is there anything else that I'm missing out?
Have you seen Punisher?
Yes, that's one that I missed out. Okay, so here's my problem right now.
I haven't watched it yet.
You haven't watched it? Okay.
No, I just finished Iron Fist, for Christ's sake.
So that's my problem. I have not been able to finish Iron Fist. Like, I can't get through it.
Liked Iron Fist.
You're saying things on purpose to hurt me.
I thought it was an interesting character study in basically white Sasuke. Basically. It's white Sasuke.
No,
He's
it's
white
not.
Sasuke.
No, it is not.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't think it was the best one. But I mean, I don't understand where all the hatred is coming from. I mean, he's, not the greatest actor, but the other people were pretty good.
No, all of it's bad, and it's a formula that I've seen before. Like, I've already watched Arrow. I don't want to watch a retelling of a worse version of Arrow with a less likable person.
Actually,
Arrow's very handsome.
It gets better than Arrow, actually.
Well,
it gets different from Arrow.
I'm 5 episodes in, and I want to fucking kill myself. That's all I know. So I haven't been able to watch that, which means I haven't been able to watch Defenders, which means I haven't watched Punisher. I know they don't tie in, but I want to watch them chronologically. I'm weird like that.
Defenders is not great.
But if it's like 1/100th better than Iron Fist, which I believe everything is,
well, Jessica Jones.
Okay.
Okay, so to me, I really liked Iron Fist, and I like Defenders less than Iron Fist.
Yikes. I like Jessica Jones, and I like Daredevil, and I don't like any of the other ones.
I like Luke Cage.
I like parts
of
Luke Cage.
Yeah, I like parts of Luke Cage, that's fair. But overall...
Jessica Jones is my favorite, and then Daredevil Season 2.
Wow. Jessica Jones is your favorite. Sexist.
I am.
No, because I had trouble.
I like the bad guy in Jessica Jones. He was fucking crazy.
Purple Man?
Yeah.
Yeah. David Tennant did a good job.
So the two shows I binged were Jessica Jones and Iron Fist. The others I had trouble getting through.
Yeah.
I mean, Daredevil Season 1, like, I didn't stop because I lost interest. I stopped because of reasons. But the other two, I had troubles.
So yeah, with me, I just Daredevil sat down and watched it all the way through. We couldn't stop. I loved it. Both seasons. And I'm so hyped for Punisher because I think Punisher is a better character. But
he's such a good actor too.
Yeah, so we'll definitely add. Oh yeah, John Bernthal is way too good of an actor to be in the Marvel TV shows. I mean, you look at the actors on Daredevil, which is the best show that they have, I'd say, and they're not good. Like, I like Charlie. He's not. He seems like a nice guy, but what else has he been in? Fucking Stardust, and he wasn't very good in Stardust. Although I love that movie.
Remember, he auditioned for young Han Solo and forgot he's not blind in the audition.
Oh, yes,
he fucking whiffed it. He's like, whoops, I can only play blind people now.
Oh, man, that's so funny. But that's very endearing. Like, I love hearing that stuff. He seems like a very sweet guy. He's just not the best actor. And the guy who plays Froggy is fucking... Oh, my God. It is like theater school. His best movie is Idle Hands.
Oh,
and in this one, he's just like... So I don't know. It just has the acting that's on par with like a TV sitcom, and I love Baby Jessica Vampire. Okay, I love her, but Deborah Ann Woll she overacts a lot. I would say that. Not a bad actress, just overacts a lot. But I love her as Baby Vampire Jessica in True Blood. I love her.
Oh my God, yes.
Yo, she's been naked.
Yes, she has.
Nobody complained.
I've lost blood because of her. Not in any weird, creepy way, but from masturbating so much that blood was coming out.
Not creepy at all.
No. Another great show that I thought was overlooked was Preacher. That show's fucking awesome. And it's insane. Like, insane. Anyone who's a fan of the Preacher comic book, they take it and they ramp it up, which I know is hard to believe, but it is so worth your time to watch that.
Have you watched Runaways?
Not yet, and that's also on my list. I really got to watch Runaways. I love the Runaways comics.
So superheroed out.
Yeah, but Runaways isn't really about superheroes. Like they do have superpowers.
About kids.
Yeah, it's about a bunch of kids who find out that their parents are supervillains, and then they like run away and try to make their own little group and survive out in the world. And the characters are really, like, if you've ever read Runaways, read Volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan and Volume 2 with Joss Whedon. It is some of the best writing you'll read in the Marvel Universe. It is such a fun story with a lot of really fun characters. Like one girl who's telepathically connected to a velociraptor, and that's her power. One of the best...
Dream.
Yeah, one of the best... like visual representations you'll see of a hero in art will be Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Like, depending on the artist, she's just like a stunning character. Yeah, a lot of cool things. Mindhunter. I have not watched a lot of it.
I was just going to ask about that.
Yeah, so Mindhunter is really interesting. It's about in the 1960s and 70s. There was no such thing as like a serial killer. So CIA created its own like internal investigation team to figure out the mind of a serial killer. So in Mindhunter, it takes these guys who sit down and interview these serial killers, and they actually coined the word serial killer, and go into their minds about why they do their crimes. And it is like a really, really good version of Law and Order SVU. It's like way more stylized. It's like a Mad Men meets Law and Order SVU, but it's a great show.
Have you watched it?
Yeah, I watched a few episodes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll be finishing it up soon, but I still got to finish Handmaid's Tale because it is at a dark point right now.
Yeah, I still have to watch that. I've read the book though, so like I know what happens. But
don't spoil it.
They all die. You can't actually spoil that book. Like, wait till you see the end of it and just imagine reading it. You're gonna be so mad.
Curb Your Enthusiasm came back this year as well. Everyone said it was a really, really great season. Have not checked it out yet. There's a lot of like new comedies and stuff, but I think
why doesn't Riverdale make the list? It's
fuck
such
Riverdale.
Oh my fucking god!
That's probably the worst place in the world. But for me, I think Legion, Stranger Things season 2, Leftovers. Those are the ones that kind of top my list. Did we leave any TV show out? Do you think that might show up?
What about The Exorcist? Did you watch any of that?
I did, and I really liked it. I thought it was really fun. It's hard to do a horror TV show, like really, really difficult. But they do a pretty solid job. And I think the pilot's one of the better pilots I've seen.
And I really loved the connection to the actual movie. I was like, yes.
Actually, in that same vein, before I forget, Robert Kirkman, the creator of The Walking Dead, also has another comic book called Outcast about a kid who's possessed when he's younger and then grows up and becomes an exorcist, essentially, unwillingly. It's starring the kid from... what the fuck is that movie? Kate Hudson... Almost Famous. It's it's the main guy from Almost Famous playing the main character, and it's a really good spooky show. I would just I don't want to tell too much about it. I just recommend watching it because it's a fun show, and Robert Kirkman you never really go wrong with. He's fucking the best. I think that would be all of them. I think that's good for TV shows. Although there was a worse season we've ever seen of Game of Thrones. I forgive it and still like the show.
Walking Dead was garbage too.
What was, sorry?
Walking Dead has been garbage this season too.
See, I just read the comics because they're always consistently awesome.
Well, Walking Dead is still going?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have this thing where I have to finish things, and it's the worst trait I have in my life is that I have to finish things. Books, TV series, anything.
Please
even if
tell
it's the
me
worst.
you didn't start Smallville, because that is like a year and a half of your life you'll never get back.
I watched Smallville when I was younger.
It's the really horrible, horrible show.
Michael Rosenbaum is good.
I love him.
Yeah, he's fine.
No. Did you know there was an Oz TV show, like Wizard of Oz?
Yes.
That aired for 10 episodes, and the fucking Kingpin was the Wizard of Oz?
Yeah. There's some unsung movies on things like Netflix that aren't getting a lot of attention.
Netflix.
Yeah, so one of the movies that they put out this year was Okja, which stars Tilda Swinton and Paul Dano. Pretty much anything Paul Dano is in, it's at least going to be well acted and interesting, I would say. He's in a lot of weird movies, but he's fucking consistently good in every movie he's in. And people might remember him as just like the kid from, what's his name? Fleek or whatever, from The Girl Next Door, like the dorky kid. And then from that, he went on to be in Little Miss Sunshine, Where the Wild Things Are, Taking Woodstock, There Will Be Blood, 12 Years a Slave, Swiss Army Man, and now Okja. Like he's fucking great. He's really consistent. So definitely check out Okja. It's a weird movie, but also a very good movie. Have you guys had a chance to check that one out?
No. I saw the trailer for it. It has a creature. Yes. It's a creature movie.
It's about like these cow things that they find that they overuse. So if you've ever seen any of Jun Ho Bong's other films, including Snowpiercer, you can kind of tell his movies are smaller stories with larger allegories about like bigger parts of our society. Snowpiercer is one of my favorite movies. I mean, that movie's just fucking insane. Oh yeah, it is really, really good. So if you're up for that type of craziness, and that kind of bent reality, then you're definitely down for Okja. But I think those are kind of like, that would be my biggest recommendation. Aside from that, I think it was a really weak year in movies.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking Death Note came out, for God's sake.
So, okay, let's talk about Death Note real quick.
Oh, God.
Well, so bad.
It wasn't that bad.
It was. The deaths
were funny.
Stupid.
That guy made me laugh.
Which guy?
Light.
Oh.
You don't think so?
When you said that guy, I thought you meant Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe did a great job, too. He was so creepy as a shit.
Best part.
Oh, yeah. So, for those who don't know, Death Note is a movie adaptation of a manga that came out between 2003 and 2006 called Death Note. It's about a guy named Light Yagami, and he is like this really, really smart kid who finds a thing called the Death Note that was dropped by a god of death, or a Shikinami. The one that he meets is named Ryuk. So Ryuk drops his book on down into Earth. Light finds it, and he finds out that if you write any name you write down in there, that person will die within a certain period of time. And you can also say how they can die, as long as it's like a realistic way that they can die. So originally he starts killing bad guys that he sees on TV, but when the police catch on that someone's doing this, they try to hunt him, and he ends up, kind of fighting back against them. So there's a fucking video game, there's an anime, a manga. It's really great, and there's a lot for them to draw from. And then they made this movie, which is, I would say, a loose adaptation. Is that being fair? There's a lot of details that are different.
Inspired by?
No, I mean, like, it hits a lot of the beats. Everything that I explained describes both the movie and the anime and the book, right? So, I mean, they follow those things. But aside from that, a lot of the details are different. Like, Miksa's role was totally different in the movie adaptation, but I didn't give a shit because I'm in love with that chick.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, on the Wikipedia page, it says, in an interview with IO9, Adam Wingard revealed that rather than being based on original manga character Misa Amane, Sutton as a character is based on the sociopathic qualities of Light Yagami.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's like him split in two. You might know the director for directing the Blair Witch 2016 movie, which I actually totally forgot about. The Guest, You're Next, which is a really fun horror movie. And that's probably all you'll really know. He's done a lot, like pretty.
He's gonna do movies, Godzilla versus Kong,
which I'm super excited for. But that was the reason why in Kong Skull Island, King Kong is like 50 feet tall or 50 feet taller than normal, is because they have this like setup of Kong versus Godzilla. But Kong Skull Island and Godzilla were completely tonally different and seemed to be set in totally different universes. But whatever. That's something. I didn't hate the Death Note movie. I think people who haven't read the books of the manga or watched the anime will actually really enjoy the film. I think it was the main character or the main actor did a good job of being pretty funny. Like his jokes landed. He reminds me of my friend Max. But yeah, it wasn't good, but I didn't mind it. And I think if you don't know anything about it. No, but it's like if you don't know anything about it, you'll enjoy it. I think.
But I don't know anything about it, and I didn't enjoy it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of interesting to see the power corrupt his girlfriend, and like that whole sequence at the end was fun. And... Okay, well, I guess I'm going to recommend it. You guys are saying no for recommendations on Death Note?
I mean, watch it.
Okay.
Just so you can hate it.
Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, I still haven't watched that. I hate myself.
I thought it was great. I thought it was a nice homage to the original. Tiny spoiler, Harrison Ford does not show up until like the last 20 minutes of the movie. But also I'm like super biased when I like fall in love with a girl in the movie, and I'm in love with Ana de Armas. I think she's the most beautiful person on the planet, and it hurts me to look at her. And I would just sit there when she was on the screen and time would go by, and then Ryan Gosling come back like, ugh. I thought the set pieces were a little small. It was a little long, but yeah, I think it's a great movie, and a worthy, like, people really romanticize Blade Runner as being the best, but it was the details around Blade Runner that made it the best. The movie itself was like a regular noir kind of, detective piece. So this expands on it. It does some interesting twists. I definitely enjoyed it, and I do recommend 2049. Dunkirk. Anyone seen Dunkirk?
No.
I have. I'm biased because I fucking love Christopher Nolan and I love World War II stuff. So there's like literally nothing. This movie could have been stock footage of like someone loading a B-52 and just like Christopher Nolan smoking a cigarette in the corner, and I'd still give it 10 out of 10. See it in the biggest screen you can with the best sound system. This movie deserves it. I watched it on a plane for the first time. A really horrible way to watch it, but really, really great. The Shape of Water, I've not seen yet, but that one's definitely gonna be on my list. War of the for the Planet of the Apes. Have you guys watched War for the Planet of the Apes?
I haven't watched any of the new Planet of the Apes at all.
They're really, really, really good. Like, really good. This movie has no humans talking for 60 minutes, and it is incredible. Most of the dialogue is done through sign language with CG characters, and it is some of the most moving things you'll see in cinema this year. It is
I love that.
It is a fun movie.
I'm gonna watch that tonight.
I think it's not as good as the second one, but it was very, very good. Another one I love this year, highly recommended, John Wick Chapter 2. Storyline is somehow worse than the first one, but I did not care.
What did he like? What do you mean worse? Like the first one, someone killed his dog, and then he went crazy.
Yeah, but they kept alluding to a larger story.
If someone killed your dog.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
Well, yeah, but like what? Like someone stole his wallet this time? Like what is his motivation?
Yep, that's about it. No, this movie starts one day after the last movie and just continues on that story, and they do it in a pretty clever way. There is a very long suicide scene with a naked woman that I am just not pleased with, but aside from that, the movie's very fun.
Aside from that sad-ass moment.
Also, I'm a huge Ian McShane fan. I think he's one of the best actors there is, and he's in it, and he's great. And so is Common, which was always fun for me.
Hey, Common!
I did not see Pirates of the Caribbean, and if any of you have, I am never talking to you again.
I did not, and I will not, and I shall not.
Perfect. Kong Skull Island, it was fine. Like, it's stupid and fun. I mean, I think it's a movie you could probably sit down and if you have to like ignore a movie but have something semi-entertaining on TV, I think this is the movie for you. The only redeeming thing about this movie in my eyes was John C. Reilly, and aside from that, the movie was just kind of meh. But fun. I would say the action sequences when he's fighting the T-Rexes in this movie, the T-Rex fights in King Kong 2005 by Peter Jackson were actually better. That's all I'll say. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Do we have a recommend or do not recommend?
Very recommend.
I'm going to take the opposite of that. Kayla, you be the tiebreaker.
I'm honestly super in the middle for that because I don't think it was terrible. I like the first one better. It just was more of, I don't know, it just felt like a repeat of the first one with a little bit of different stuff in it.
There were some moments in this, like, James Gunn is a very uncool person. Can we just come out of it? That's just,
what do you mean by that?
He is just a fucking nerd. He's just one of those dudes who's just not down for... I bet if you ask his friends, like, hey, yo, James Gunn, he down to tear shit up? They're like, no. That fucking bitch-ass flake. You know what he looks like? He has spiky hair, and he's fucking 50. He looks like the guy that would, like... be like, hey guys,
looks like Ryan Seacrest, but less money.
Yeah, and like, you know, balding and dying of AIDS. He looks like the guy that would be like, oh guys, I don't think we should go in that shed. And then he's like, and everyone's like, no, let's go in. And then he's like, no, we don't. We shouldn't go. And then the movie never happens because this fucking loser just doesn't let them go do shit. That's the type of person he is. Now, he did direct Slither. Slither is a great movie. He wrote that movie. And that was fucking balls to the wall. And he also did movie 43, which is really horrible. Which is weird because he did, I don't know. So he has had like a good movie in Slither. But he also, I don't know. Okay. So when you watch Super, this is the best way I can describe it. Super is a really good movie, but Rainn Wilson decides to become Dwight from The Office, decides to become a superhero, and he teams up with Kitty Pryde from X-Men, and they dress up in spandex and they beat people up with wrenches. But like one of the things that he does is like, you do not do drugs. Like he's like, you don't sell drugs to kids. I'm like, yeah, that's great. And he's like beating up people who are like robbing people and like all shit. Then he's going after people that are like buying weed, like normal adults. And I'm just like, you kind of lost me, you nerd. He's like, you're right. We're not going to smoke weed. And he like beats them up. And I'm like, oh no, this movie is really fun when you're like a crazy Rainn Wilson in spandex beating the shit out of people. He found mugging people and getting his ass kicked. Like, that was great. That was like kick ass with a loser. But the stuff about beating up people that are smoking weed, I'm like, maybe just leave them alone, dude. That's like...
I thought that was the point, though, that you can't be a vigilante without being crazy. And, like, it's gonna, like, fall away from you real quick, and you're gonna start hunting down things that aren't that wrong because you know what? Enough to be wrong.
You're right. That's what it should have been about, but it's just like, no, this was anti-drug, and sometimes you gotta stand up for yourself. Like, that's what the movie's about. But remember, he's an Irish Catholic from Missouri. Like, he's a fucking loser. So he's not funny. And you can tell that by watching Guardian. Okay, here's a test. People who like Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Name one funny line from the movie.
I haven't seen it in a really long time. That's unfair.
He is part of a plan.
Yeah, it is not.
Groot's the only one with a clue.
I just like when he dances.
I was busy thinking about something else. Shit, they're all from the same scene. Crap.
There's moments that are like fun moments, like Parks and Recreation. There's nothing outright funny. I mean, you have Chris Pratt, and the comic relief is Bradley Cooper. What the fuck? When has Bradley Cooper ever been funny? He was the least funny part of The Hangover. There was nothing funny about Bradley Cooper. How is he the Dave Bautista and fucking Bradley Cooper comic relief? And you have Chris Pratt, one of the best comedic minds on the planet, just standing there not doing fucking anything. And so I didn't like Guardians of the Galaxy, and I thought Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was worse.
You don't like the first one either?
No, the first one's stupid. The only thing I like about the only thing I like about the first Guardians of the Galaxy is Groot. Groot had a nice story, and then when you said "We Are Groot," I started crying. What in Guardians of the Galaxy 2? Groot was useless. He was like a porg. Like he had no fucking point in that movie.
He found the fin.
Oh, really? The entire thing before is about saving everyone's lives and realizing that we are united together or stronger than alone. Well, he found something in this next one. Yeah, talk about stepping down your role in the Guardians.
He brought the thing and he didn't explode it before it got to where it needed to go.
That was a pandery fucking basic sequence. Push the button, don't push the button.
5 inches tall.
Jesus, this is fucking bullshit. This is an Abbott and Costello sketch. That's the thing. There's nothing cool or edgy about fucking Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a fucking vanilla-ass Disney movie with nothing funny.
It's dumb space fun.
It's just for fun. It's not a serious movie. Nobody's going to win an award for it. It's just for fun.
Now, I'm going to use that argument against you guys in a moment, but let me go on. Let me talk about more about why Guardians of the Galaxy is dog shit.
You're dog shit.
So there's like scenes in it where they're like Gamora and Nebula are fighting, and then they stop, and then Nebula's like, remember, she's the daughter of Thanos. She has wiped out thousands of people. She's wiped out species of people. She stops fighting and says, all I really wanted was a sister. And I was like, what is happening? I thought the Happy Days song, when they had her emotional reveal, they play this musical sting that was like, dun, dun, dun. I thought they were going to play that from Happy Days because it was so fucking ridiculously, like, it was written like, you know what would happen if like you gave a bunch of money to the Family Matters writers and they're like, we need you to make a superhero movie. It would be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That's what that movie was.
You're such a hater.
Yeah, it was truly dog shit, and I hated it. Now, on the opposite end, a movie that was far better at doing it with a far less funny person was Thor Ragnarok. That movie was the fucking bomb.
That movie was
That movie was just space fun.
More.
What?
I did like Ragnarok more.
Dude.
Oh, way more.
So, let me just look at these directors, their resumes. Tai Waititi versus that faggot James Gunn.
Calm yourself.
James Gunn did PG porn. That's pretty funny.
PG porn was funny if you're 14. Okay. So he directed Slither, fun movie. He directed PG porn, which was fun. Super was a good movie. Movie 43 was the worst movie ever made, and Guardians of the Galaxy was the second worst movie ever made, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, the third worst movie ever made.
He also did that web short about the Human Z.
Oh my god. That should be his only credit. That's what he should be most proud of. Now, let's look at Taika Waititi for Thor Ragnarok. First of all, hilarious as fuck. He was the funniest character in Thor Ragnarok as Korg, the giant rock monster. Yeah, exactly. Like thinking about him makes me
I love that
laugh.
so much.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi there. This is my friend. He has knives for hands.
So straightforward. I loved it.
It was great. He's a better version of Drax. So, which they totally forgot how to use Drax in fucking Volume 2 where he's talking too much. Never mind. So, Taika Waititi directed Flight of the Conchords, one of the funniest TV shows I've ever seen. Eagle vs. Shark, really, really fun independent movie with Jermaine Clement. And What We Do in the Shadows, which if you haven't seen What We Do in the Shadows, it is about 3 vampires that live together, featuring Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords, and they're all housemates, and it is one of the funniest fucking movies I have ever seen in my life. It is awesome. And he also directed one of my favorite TV shows called The In-Betweeners, which is like Entourage for teenage boys, but way funnier. So everything he's directed is hilarious and awesome. He also directed the intro to Thor 2, which is the only good part of that movie. And everything that James Gunn has done is dog shit. So by comparing those two metrics, we now know that Thor Ragnarok is what James Gunn probably watched that and was like, oh shit. Oh shit. because this movie is like coming out the same year and was just so much better, so much better. And I would definitely recommend. That was just a fun time at the movies, and I didn't have any fun at the movies this year except for Thor Ragnarok, I'd say.
I'll agree with you on one condition.
Yeah.
If they hadn't gotten the immigrant song for Thor Ragnarok, it would have been dog shit.
Yeah, how fucking good is that song?
The entire movie hinged on them getting it.
Dude, it was fucking perfect. I was like shocked. I was like, oh, like I didn't know what they were doing. And then Jeff Goldblum was hilarious as always.
Oh yeah.
It was such a weird thing. I never thought I would cheer the destruction of Asgard, but at the end I was like, "You go, big fire guy! You've waited your whole life for this. You go get him, buddy."
Dreams come true. They can happen to you.
That should be the tagline for Thor Ragnarok. Alien Covenant. Or sorry, your guys' thoughts on Thor. Do we have anything else you want to
add?
More.
Honestly, I feel like the early part of the movie, like the first 20 minutes, needed a bit more like time to breathe. It felt because somebody's in Asgard, and then spoilers.
No, he's in the hell dimension thing.
He's in the hell dimension, and then he goes to Asgard, and then like Odin is revealed to be Loki, and then Odin is dead. Like, it happens very quickly.
That Loki reveal was so casual. It was like upsetting.
Like, no one has a problem with it.
Did you kill my dad? Like, what? I definitely think that was probably one of the things the movie could have worked on. But aside from that, movie's perfect.
I feel like it was just a lame narrative choice for Hela to just it's the Worf effect, right? Like how you throw Worf around in an episode of TNG, and then the alien's real tough. Like she killed the 3 Warriors 3, right? So that, and also like they couldn't get Jamie Alexander for Sif's roles or something,
which is really weird because she's like, yeah, I'll do Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and like, we need you for this giant movie. She's like, no shit, I got it wrong. Okay, no, she wanted to audition for Wonder Woman, and they were like, no, you have to be in Thor Ragnarok. And then she filmed her scenes for Thor Ragnarok, and they cut them from the movie. Fuck off, really?
Let me find.
That is dark.
I know she's on a TV show right now, so I thought that's why she wasn't in it.
That could be part of it too. You never know. Okay, let's get speeding along here. We're hitting our time limit soon. Alien Covenant did not get great reviews. People didn't like it, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was. I didn't like what it did to mythology because it, first of all, didn't fit in continuity. So I don't know what the fuck Ridley Scott was thinking.
Any of those movies really though?
1, 2, and 3 are pretty. I mean, that's a linear story, I guess. But even like 4 did a pretty decent job of doing timeline stuff. It was really Prometheus and Covenant where they really got iffy. But yeah, Covenant introduces a bunch of new types of aliens, a bunch of new types of xenomorphs. It introduces the fact, some interesting scientific facts, how the xenomorph mutation is caused by the black spores. I'm going to get really, really deep in this with 2 scientists I do a panel with at Comic-Con. We did a xenomorph panel, and we're going to go dig deep on the entire alien timeline, the science behind the aliens, how they evolve, and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that one. But I liked it. Did you guys get a chance to see it?
No.
Have not.
If you're an Alien fan, I just suggest watching it because I just love everything Alien, really. But people, it was kind of they didn't know what this movie wanted to be. Like, this movie was a horror, it borrowed elements from all 4 movies, right or wrong, and was a convoluted mess. But I still liked it. Did not watch Beauty and the Beast. Anyone?
It was basically the cartoon with an extra annoying song from the musical.
Did you like it?
Basically what it was. It was all right. I mean, the cartoon's still better because it's a cartoon. But
how was the art design in CG?
What's that?
How was the art design in CG and stuff?
I thought it was fine. It looked beautiful. I mean, I don't know a lot about that stuff, but
I just don't like the director because he directed Chicago and Dreamgirls and other movies I hate.
Dreamgirls.
Dreamgirls is the fourth worst movie of all time, right behind fucking Thor 2. Oh, sorry.
No, also Kayla was right. It was a scheduling conflict.
Okay. That's a little easier to swallow. Ghost in the Shell. Did anyone watch Ghost in the Shell?
It's fucking terrible.
Apparently, Japanese people like it better than the 1995 film.
So I really liked Ghost in the Shell as a kid. I like Standalone Complex a little bit, the anime. Mm-hmm. But I just wasn't really keen on seeing this movie just because I was getting shit on. But now I think it was kind of unfairly shit on because, like, you look at like what the animators had to say. They're like, "Yeah, when we drew these characters, they're supposed to be Americans. That's why their eyes are so big. You dumb motherfuckers."
Yeah.
So for ScarJo to be one of the white robots, it's totally fine.
No, my problem with it was more of like the way she was acting. It was like she was just trying so hard to be a robot, but I'm just like, well, they have the technology to make people into fucking robots, and why can't you move like a normal person?
Well, I think that's the problem of ScarJo doesn't have range.
No. She is not a good actress.
But she's hot, so it's okay.
She was incredible in one movie. Sorry, I was just doing the Ju-on noise. She was great in Lost in Translation.
Yeah, good movie.
That's one of my favorite movies.
It's a very good movie.
She was fine in Her, I guess. Like, her best movie, she's not really in it.
What about the other Berlin girl? It's so great.
I liked her in Don John. That was a good movie. But yeah, she's like, there's no movie where she at least stands out as like a great actress. Like The Prestige, yeah, she was there, I guess. But I don't really remember. I've seen that movie 100 times and I barely remember her.
I just find her very underwhelming.
Yeah, but I mean,
as an actor.
She got
the Black Dahlia.
Yeah. I know what's funny. I remember her from like The Horse Whisperer and like Home Alone 3 and Ghost World. Like when I first saw her, I'm like, when I first saw her in Home Alone 3, I'm like, this Molly chick is gonna be hot as fuck when she grows up. But we were the same age, we're both children, so it wasn't like and then I saw her in Eight-Legged Freaks, and I'm like, this is the greatest movie with the most beautiful woman in the world. And then she got big with Lost in Translation, Girl with the Pearl Earring, and all that stuff. But yeah, I was on the OG train, and I'd love to support her, but I have grown to find her less attractive and more annoying. So,
but we can all agree she has a nice booty.
Yeah, I guess. Now for the movie I thought was fine. Wonder Woman. I recommend seeing it. It was okay. It's just like every other superhero movie. It was like Captain America 1, basically, which is fine.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed like the backstory of it before the war stuff.
I like some of it. I mean, Gal Gadot's not a good actress. Her best role is like,
Wasn't she a soldier?
Yeah, that's why she's not good at acting. She's like, every time they're like, "Kay, smile in this scene," she's like, "I watched my friends die to Arabs." And they're like, "Oh, okay, well, see if you can use that." But she's like, she's so gorgeous, it's distracting. I hate it. Hate how pretty she is.
Very true.
She's in what's it called, Arrested Development, which I love her from. She's a couple episodes of Entourage, which I know her from. Sorry, I'm talking about the director. And the also TV show The Killing, and yeah, that's a Monster. So Patty Jenkins has done like, you know, not a ton of stuff. Like Monster was her first big thing, and after that it was just like smaller stuff. So this is her first big movie in like 15 years. Her first movie in 15 years.
Wow.
So she's only directed 2 movies, and Wonder Woman was the second. So it was hard to like, you know, take a kind of jump on her as a TV director, but she did a fine job. There's just like, there's so many things that bug me about this movie, like how every other Amazon is dressed in like armor, and then she comes out with this brightly colored skimpy outfit out of nowhere. She falls in love and fucks Steve after knowing him for like 2 days. I think it would have been better if they didn't have that moment. right? So at the end, when she loses Steve, spoiler alert, that she would really like it really hit home because she never had a chance with him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. The villain is uninspiring and non-memorable.
Dr. Poison!
Huh?
Dr. Poison!
Such a waste of a good actor, though.
Oh yeah, he's fucking great, but
He's
his motivation
brilliant.
didn't make any sense.
No, the villain was the least favorite part of that film for me. I agree. It was very underwhelming in that sense.
And I did like the crew. Like Eugene Braverock did a good job. Canadian represent. Robin Wright was great as Antinope. I think the biggest victory for this movie. This movie is a feminist victory, but not in the way that people might think. Wonder Woman was highly sexualized. She was acted as a play object for men. People commented on her appearance constantly. Like in those regards, it ruins the Bechdel test. It doesn't really like. It's not really the feminist victory people make it out to be. Even though the protagonist is female, she's still like, regarded as a sex object and treated like a sex object in the movie.
Well, that's honest to her origins.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the guy who invented her was cheating on his wife and invented the polygraph, so and there's that. But with one of the biggest feminist victories that this movie actually had was with Anne Wolfe. So for those who don't know, excuse me one second. For those who don't know, Anne Wolfe is one of the greatest female boxers of all time. She's basically Mike Tyson, but with a vagina. She's a pioneer in women's combat sports, an absolute savage, like really redefined women's boxing in a big way. And they had her as Artemis in the movie, but barely gave her any screen time or any speaking roles. But you might notice her from the early fight scene where the Amazons were playing like King of the Castle, where they're standing on like this wooden board, and she was just this big black chick knocking people off of it. And she also comes up a little bit later in the movie. But yeah, that's awesome to see Anne Wolfe. Nothing but respect for her and love for her. And if she's in anything, I will support it. So I will be, I paid for the movie and I'll be paying for it again so I can support her. But the movie itself, I mean, everyone went crazy because they finally had a female do it. And it was like fine. And they're like, oh my God, this movie's fine. Like, this movie's fine. Tell everyone it's okay. We did it. And that was kind of the way that movie went. How'd you guys feel about it?
I liked it. I don't know. It obviously had problems, but I mean, I enjoyed it. I found it entertaining, and I think the whole weird bad acting thing worked kind of for it, which was kind of weird in a way.
Because she's like a fish out of water. So as a bad actor, you're a fish out of water. It was perfect for her.
Yeah, like it's okay to be awkward and weird and kind of not make any sense whatsoever because
have off cadences. Yeah.
So it's like they didn't cast her for her acting skills; they cast her for her.
Yeah, I mean, like my biggest problem too was that you have all these like great actresses playing Amazons, are all like super jacked and like actual MMA fighters, and then you have her, and she's like 40 pounds. She's like, I'm stronger than all of you. I'm like, listen, not every superhero. What was that?
She did go to war in real life.
I guess so, but like not every. If you're an Amazon training the sword every day, you're not going to have Gal Gadot's body. You're going to have Ronda Rousey's body.
Well, yeah, but that's the problem is because Wonder Woman is so over-sexualized, they don't want somebody who's like super jacked because that's not deemed attractive in Hollywood, which is ridiculous. But that's
not even that. Okay, just logically, a lady who is super jacked works out all the time. Her breasts are going to be small. They're not going to fit in that armor unless she has implants.
Well, okay, look at, what about Gina Carano? She has great titties, super jacked, excellent actress. She was also in Fast and the Furious, which apparently might be a thing because of Gal Gadot's in this.
She's more like wider built.
Yes, but she looks like Wonder Woman. She has black hair and blue eyes. She's dating Henry Cavill in real life. She's actually dating Superman. Like, she's so perfect for Wonder Woman. It drives me fucking insane, and they didn't take her. But
I was honestly really disappointed that in Deadpool, when it was implied, her titty popped out, it didn't show it.
Yeah, that was super upsetting. Now for so Kayla, you're giving that one a recommendation, right?
I liked it.
I'm also giving a recommendation, although I'm just want you to be aware it's not the best movie. Justice League. Now
haven't seen it.
Oh man. Solomon, how about you, buddy?
I can't believe I haven't seen it, but I don't think I'm gonna like it.
Have you watched it?
I have not watched it. I have seen clips of Cyborg's CGI.
It is not as bad as people say, but it is not good. And I think that Joss Whedon might have ruined the movie because it is like has huge tonal shifts that don't make any fucking sense. You're like, oh, this is a Snyder movie.
Just like Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Now it felt a lot like Suicide Squad, unfortunately. But there were some fun moments in there, and there's some cool scenes. Actually, the best battle scene you'll ever see in cinema is in this movie, and it is like 36 seconds. There's a flashback to Steppenwolf fighting the Amazons. It is fucking visceral. There's like this horse chase scene, and it is fucking awesome. They're like jumping around and flying and throwing spears at each other, and there's some other cool cameos. And like it was a lot like the Lord of the Rings fight, where Sauron was fighting off the three armies at the beginning of the first Lord of the Rings. It was like that, but it was like way better. Like way better. Zack Snyder can direct the fuck out of a fight scene, and that, like, I want to see him do those epic, big scale, lots of people fighting again, because it's like 300 the superpowers, and it looked fucking incredible. And no one's gonna sing any praises about this movie because it's super fun to hate on it, but I would definitely say that there is some merit at the very least. Next, my favorite movie of the year, Logan. How about you guys? Where do you guys come down on this?
I really enjoyed Logan. I thought it was great.
I really enjoyed Logan. I did not enjoy my experience of watching Logan in a theater because firefighters came in every 5 minutes about halfway through.
Why? Because you were too hot?
I wish. I don't know. I think there was just doing some inspection. The theater staff didn't know either why it was happening.
They're just like, oh, we really want to watch Logan.
Looks like a really good movie.
I would say it's the best X-Men movie so far, in my opinion. How about you guys?
Yeah, it's the best X-Men movie because most of them are dead.
Right. Well,
the hatred is real.
I'm ranking this as my top movie of the year. I'm not sure about you guys, but what is your top movies of the year?
I would say, yeah, Logan.
Caleb?
I didn't see that many this year, though. So.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot to watch.
I feel like I didn't see very many.
Well,
I would say Logan is definitely up there.
Yeah. Another really great movie that was kind of unsung is the movie Life, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Ryan Reynolds. It's a really great movie. It's about a bunch of movies that are on the International Space Station that discover a rapidly evolving alien. Cool thing about the movie is that it was supposed to be a prequel for Venom. It's like their pitch to do a Venom movie. And it was spooky. It was fun. You're in space. Yeah, I thought Life was a fun movie. Definitely worth checking out.
I feel like we've talked about this before.
Yes.
Spider-Man Home... trailers, I got Prometheus vibes from it.
You're not wrong.
Okay.
But it's less convoluted. Spider-Man Homecoming, also just like a super fun movie I really enjoyed this year. I thought they did a really, really great job of that.
Yeah, Homecoming and Logan probably.
Last year.
Hilarious. My other favorite movies this year were Baby Driver. I think it's like a beautiful art piece, and It. I thought they did a great job. Spooky, fun. That was one of the other times I had fun going to the movies.
You gotta talk about your most favorite movie of all the movies this year, Star Wars.
Oh, God. Okay, so here are the movies that I don't recommend. One more movie to recommend, A Ghost Story. And Get Out was probably my favorite movie of all time. I think that movie is... Every white person needs to watch Get Out.
Get Out was awesome.
And then Get Out of My Life. Now let's talk about the worst movies made this year. And Star Wars Episode 8, it takes spots for number 1, 7, 3, 4, 6, 9, 8, and 2.
Oh.
Which means it's all of them. It is the entire top 10 is that one shit movie. Holy God, that movie sucked. What the fuck was I watching?
You hate that movie so much.
I hate it. It was real bad.
Well, as far as I've heard, since I have not seen it, and I don't think I want to give money to it.
Don't do it.
Because I regretted giving money to both Rogue One and Force Awakens.
Oh man, this movie's a billion times worse than those movies. I actually liked Force Awakens. It was fine, I think, and Rogue One I liked, but yeah, I fucking Jesus Christ. This movie thought it was a Spaceballs movie.
I heard that it was basically a Star Wars movie trying to not be Star Wars.
Trying to be...
Well, it basically took every fan theory and it was like, haha, you're wrong.
I don't even give a shit about
that's
that.
shitty.
It wasn't even like all the stuff that they're building up, like who are Rey's parents, no payoff. Who's gonna be the big bad, no payoff. That's like the thing, like, we shit on your fan theories and everyone's complaining. No, that's not what we're complaining. It's because the payoffs weren't good. When you try to build up stuff and be like, haha, just kidding, there's no payoff to any of these things that we alluded to, then you're just like, oh, well, then I don't like it. Because I want payoff. I need some reward for going on this journey. And when there isn't, the movie, like, we're going to have an entire episode about why that movie sucks. But as far as my, like, biggest avoid of the year, I'd say Star Wars, Transformers Last Night, and then Valerian. 3 worst movies of the year.
Pokemon, the movie I Choose You, because Pikachu fucking talks in it.
Not worth it. Yeah. I saw a clip of people in a theater and he speaks and everyone's like, ah! And people start crying and getting angry. Like, it was so funny. Are there any movies that we missed? I think we went through all the big ones.
Terrible movies.
Apparently Mother was terrible, but I haven't watched it.
It's so okay. It's weird.
And same with The Beguiled was also apparently awful as well. Also have not seen it yet.
So I would say for my favorite movies this year would be Spider-Man Homecoming, John Wick Chapter 2, Okja, A Ghost Story, It, not a Ghost Story, but It, War of the Planet of the Apes, Logan, Blade Runner, Baby Driver, Get Out.
Was Kingsman 2 good?
Didn't watch it yet.
It wasn't terrible. It had a lot of stupid parts. I was mostly really stoned when I watched it.
Okay, well,
so that's not a valid experience.
I mean, it was entertaining.
Okay.
It was just, there was one, I'm not going to say it because it'll spoil the whole movie. It was just, at the beginning, you're like, this is so fucking stupid, why? And then the rest of the movie happens.
Oh, for worst movie, I haven't seen it, but I know it's probably the worst because it destroyed an entire franchise that hadn't even started, The Mummy.
Oh god, that movie is so ridiculous. Oh my god, that movie's insane. It is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever... You know who The Mummy is? The Mummy's not about that girl in the thing. It's Tom Cruise. He's the Mummy.
What?
That's what I'll leave you with.
What?
That is a wrap-up of 2017. Thank you all for listening. We look forward to this year in movies, but it'll likely be as disappointing as last year, which means that we'll be watching Netflix the entire fucking time.
Woohoo!
Anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up? Okay. Thank you everyone for listening. You guys have been fantastic. You can catch all our information on ROFLcast.com. You can download episodes there now because we're no longer banned from iTunes. Thanks everyone for listening. Follow me on Twitter at Achilles. You guys want to give out your socials? Kayla, you go first.
Kayla Quinn _9. On Twitter or Instagram.
Salmon Rider. That's SOMMENRIDER.
You are the reason people are going to listen to this podcast in 2x speed. Thanks everyone for listening. Until next time, we remain podcasting.
And things will never be the same. You tear my mind.